Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Ghost Town Encounter, and it's under the command of demontaxidriver. And the game started, but he hasn't loaded in yet. Yeah, I'm afraid that does happen sometimes. I remember when I first started the game that my computer was so bad that it would take me between 30 seconds to a minute into the game before we loaded, and that could be very inconvenient because when you're starting out and you're at the lower tiers, then every second counts during the start of a battle. But funnily enough, it did mean that in quite a few battles I was still alive when quite a few members of my team had already died. Okay, demontaxidriver aiming towards the center of the map. Normally games like Encounter, it's all about the cap. Trying to capture that cap and stop the enemy from getting it, but well, on Ghost Town with such a wide area to work on, it can actually be sometimes about finding the enemy and killing them rather than seizing the cap. A couple of enemies down there in the south. CS44 KV3 fires at the CS44. And unfortunately doesn't get anything off that shot. Now the enemy spawns directly to the south of this position, so you'd expect to see enemy on this side of the map, but there's probably some enemy going over to the other side right now, and that landed near where the defender was, but you can see some shots going in there, and I suspect that some of those shots were hitting the defender and he probably pulled back. Okay, we've got an OI in the center. Rounds out on him. Direct hit! Right on the mark. Exactly where it was aimed. Sometimes very difficult to get the target on aim. He's got half that in the building right now. Fires the round in. Oh, it hits the building. Can't always guarantee that the shell will go straight to the aim point. But we have tried to get one of the mod makers to come up with a mod which actually shows the difference between the aim point and the actual point of impact, so that we can do analysis on how accurate the guns are. But so far, no mod makers come up with an idea, even though we're willing to pay them to do it. CS44 backing up, makes a nice target. He fires in. Good hit! 232 just as he was turning. And the enemy team is basically bunching together there near the cap area. I always like it when you get enemy tanks that bunch together, because it means there's a good chance you might be able to hit more than one tank with each shot. Another direct hit on the KV3. He's not getting pens, but he is getting consistent damage. You can see here that the alpha is 550, penetrating 39mm of armor with a burst radius of 7 meters. Fires at the KV3 again. Oh, this time round he actually hits the AT7 that's alongside him, but he splashes both of them. Splashes the KV3 for 107, so that was a really good shot. Lining a shot up now on the AT7. Rounds out. And he gets the AT7, but it's splash only. Still aiming for that AT7. I think he may be tracked. Now you can see demontaxidriver is using premium consumables. It does speed up the reload, and it also means your accuracy is better, everything's better. It really does pay off in the long run, I can promise you. If you use premium consumables and you've got a reasonably good eye to getting damage on the enemy, you will get more damage because you'll get more shots in the game and they'll be more accurate as well, and that makes a huge difference overall. Unfortunately, that shell veered to the left, so he's now aiming at the AT7 near the cap area, but he's actually the only tank that's gone really close to the cap, other than one of ours which went in there, and that tracked the AT7 on one side. Rounds out. Another splash. Landed alongside the 87, even though we aimed directly at him. You can see how demontaxidriver's pumping out as many shells as he can. As soon as he's reloaded, he's looking for his next target. In fact, he's looking for his target as he's reloading, but now all of a sudden we've lost sight of enemy targets we can hit. That Super Pershing to the south, at the moment he can't really fire at that guy because the buildings would protect him. As you see, as he pulls back, you can see that the Super Pershing, covered by the buildings, he's in defilade. He'd need to move further to the west if he's going to get shots on that guy. And we're now being kind of compressed into the northeast corner of the map. The only exception, of course, is the Barask, who's gone all the way down to the southwest corner of the map. And it looks like he's looking for the enemy snipers above their spawn area. It looks like there's an AMX AC-48 up there and a 40 TP. Probably some other tank destroyers as well. He's gone around the corner. You might want to support these. I don't know why these guys are still sitting here doing nothing, because here's the Barask. He's actually found the 40 TP, and the AMX AC-48 just went straight down the cliff to move away from that position. And he fired that one short of the target, but it went long and it killed the 40 TP. That was a very lucky shot because he was aimed well short of the target. The shell went long and directly into the target. Now he's aiming for the Jackson, who's got weaker armor than the SU-100M1. He damages both of them because the shell lands between them. If you're wondering about that clicking, I'm afraid it's one of the mods we installed a while back which is causing problems. We can't get rid of it for some reason, even though we've tried downloading a fresh client. It just doesn't seem to go away. Okay. The Super Pershing's in sight now. We can probably get a shot into it. Except, of course, those buildings might be a problem. He fires snap and hits the building. Yeah, it wasn't fully dialed in. That's why it didn't go directly to the target. But he can probably get another shot in there. As you can see, half the reticule, or not, well, the bottom end of the reticule is obscured by the building. There's a chance that the shell might hit the building, but he might just hit the Pershing instead. Decides to re-aim towards the hill. Oh, now the SU-100M1's going after the Barask, and he's badly damaged. Looks like he probably took damage from that SU-100M1, and the AC-48 that went down the cliff edge managed to shoot him from behind as he backed up. They're now heading north towards the Jagdpanther II. Okay, loaded. 87 right in the centre of, well, not in the centre of town, but near the centre. Lining him up for a shot, rounds out. Direct hit! But he might want to pay attention to that guy, the AMX AC-48, because he's definitely after the Jagdpanther II. He's very low on hit points, though. See if can he get a shot in. Lines up the shot, loses sight of the target. Oh, but he did hit the target. It was a blind hit there because there was no explosion. And there's the AC-48 missing most of his hit points and stunned. So, yes, he did get a direct hit on that guy. He fires one in again. That time round, he only tracked the AC-48. The Jagdpanther II goes in for the face hug, but unfortunately neither of them have got much in the way of hit points, so I'm afraid the Jagdpanther II gets killed by the SU-100M1. But there's revenge. Demontaxidriver takes out the AMX AC-48. We're still one tank behind the enemy. Can he get a shot on this Super Pershing? He's aiming for that gap. Oh, that was a really good shot. He managed to thread the needle there, went between the gap in the buildings. He won't be able to do it again because the Super Pershing is now well and truly behind those buildings and he knows it's safe there. Yeah, that shell did absolutely nothing at all. You need the Super Pershing to poke around the corner to get hit. The Striv M4257 makes a huge mistake. You're not going to take out an SU-100M1 in a face-to-face confrontation. It's just not going to work. That thing has got so much armor. The Striv M4257 is basically a very weak tank. Round out the 87. Direct hit again. That guy's been hit so many times by demontaxidriver. He must be getting pretty much fed up. The annoying thing is that the majority of our team are just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, waiting for the opportunity to get a brief shot in. Oh, nice hit there by demontaxidriver on the Super Pershing. He poked his head around the corner and he got an Arty round straight in the face. Meanwhile, we've got a Pantera in the grass. And a direct hit on him as well, but it didn't kill him. Yeah, we've got two on that corner. The OI is not looking in a good position. He shouldn't poke. He should stay behind that building. The big worry, though, is that the enemy pokes, and they have. And he's blown his wad. And I think now, yeah, this is going to be curtains for the OI. Yeah, Super Pershing gets him. Direct hit on the 87. He is a one-shot now. One more hit to get him out the game, and he is. VK3601 gets him. Oh, and we just got hit by the enemy Arty, who splashed us. Got some stun. There's the Pantera. He gets taken out by the 3601 as well. KV122. If he comes around the corner, demontaxidriver can probably splash him to death. Yes! Direct hit, actually. But the enemy's still got 3 tanks. We've only got 2. And the SU-100M1 is really close. And demontaxidriver's been spotted. There's the enemy Arty round. The moment you're spotted, enemy Arty tries. And he gets a direct hit on the SU-100M1. But he backed up right against the edge of the map. And really, he should be headed south right now. But if he stays where he is, enemy Arty will have a go at him. Another shot. Oh, another hit into the side of the SU-100M1, but the VK is gone. And there's another hit from the Super Pershing, and the SU-100M1 comes in. And the kill shot goes to the MX-13F3AM. So it's all over. So let's have a look at the second battle, and that's with tiltratt. And in the second battle, we're on Studzianki, and it's under the command of tiltratt. Game on! And yet again, the gun drops right at the start, but tiltratt loads in fairly quickly, and he's off. Now, it's always puzzled me why this Arty is in the game when the M52 is not. That is the Arty that we actually proposed to Wargaming could be made a premium Arty, because it's based on the same hull, but it uses a turret very similar to the M53 M55, but it's only a 105mm. So in that sense, it would be very much like the Fifi, the 105 LEF-H 18B2. First shot aimed at the SU-12244. Don't know if it did any damage, but it probably did. I've always thought that the M52 would have made a very good, suitable premium tank, because more of them were built than the M44. And of course, it's only 105mm, so it's got a limited amount of damage. No splash, well, it does have splash, sorry, but it doesn't have stun. And of course it would have the same mobility as the M44, but just would do less damage. Probably do about the same damage that you would get from the Fifi, so maybe about 410 alpha. And with a 2 meter splash radius, you'd probably be able to damage tanks that were nearby. If you get a near miss, probably track the target. Aiming for a Super Hellcat now. Now you can see tiltratt doesn't use premium consumables. In fact, what he actually uses is a large repair kit and a small repair kit. Doesn't carry the fire extinguisher. Now that's quite an unusual combination. A lot of people like to use premium consumables because it does speed up the reload, improves the aiming, and oh, there's a rare sight. That's a Type 59 gold. You don't see many of them about. Rounds out. Direct hit. Oh, brilliant one. And he picked up the stun assist because he was taken out afterwards. Yeah, you don't see often the Type 59 gold because it's a rare one. You have to buy it, and it's well, they don't sell them all that many, I think. As far as I'm aware, it's very expensive. Okay, gets a nice shot on the AT-15A, the British premium tank destroyer with a 17-pounder gun. Those things are tough as old boots. Rounds out, looks good. Oh, it falls short, but he does get some damage. Again, I have to apologise for the clicking. We can't get rid of it. Don't know why, but it's not to do with the computer. It's definitely to do with the program. Definitely, because we don't get the clicking off older clients. In fact, I had thought of actually taking one of the older clients and using that to update the program. We'll find some way of sorting it out in the future. In the meantime, I'm afraid it has to click every time. It might be that when we put that Klaus mod in, we actually put it in more than one location, because the manual said you had to put it in a certain file, and then when Aslains became available, we loaded it through that as well. And so it may have been loaded in twice, and that's why we're still getting the clicking noise, because it's trying to activate, but it doesn't. Can't get a shot in the AT-15A as long as he stays behind that house or that building. Ah, now probably can hit that AMX M445, and he's a one-shot. Oh, before he can shoot, the kill goes to the MT-25. That's unfortunate. Would have been so nice to get the first kill. Falls short on the Super Hellcat. Now, some people actually don't like the Studzianki map, but I do find it interesting actually, because it can be handled in so many different ways. Of course, the thing to do is to remember that the south really is the key to winning. It's all very well confronting each other up by the factories. The north woods do enable you to get shots on the enemy if they happen to be up at the factories, but it is the south where this game pivots really more than anything. If you can get control of the south, then it's very difficult for the enemy to win. Unfortunately, we've just lost our KV-122. AT-15A is coming into sight, so we should be able to get a shot. Notice how tiltratt's gone to the overhead view to actually see if he could actually get the target, tease the aim point over it. That's a very open position that he was in, but the thing is that there's very few enemies that could actually see him in that spot. And it's not the usual spot, so you wouldn't be looking for Tracer over there. This is somewhere that you would be looking for Tracer though, that's the unfortunate thing. And you just saw that Scorpion G come into sight briefly as he went behind that ridgeline. It's a bit difficult to fire blind shots in there because he could be anywhere behind that ridgeline. One of the other good things about the M44 is the fact that it is a fairly mobile Arty. Fairly flexible in that sense. There are some Artys in the game who are absolutely dreadful because they take ages to move around the battlefield. Yes, the GW Tiger P being one of the worst. Another one is the SU-14-1 and the SU-14-2 for that matter. Okay, we've got two enemy tanks coming in, homing in on our Super Hellcat. It's hiding behind the bushes. That's the American... Oh, it's not the American Scorpion. It's the plainclothes Scorpion, the German one. Direct hit 275. That's a pity because he should have penned that thing. And unfortunately, we lost the Super Hellcat, which means we've lost the spotter. And the nearest tank we've got to those two is now the T-25-2, and as tiltratt backs up, he's knocked a couple of trees down. You can see our team is now being compressed into this corner of the map. Doesn't always mean when you get compressed into a corner that you lose though, because if you pick the right positions and you play it right, sometimes acting in a very, very strong defense can make it very tough for the enemy to try and beat you. You often see enemy attacks spend themselves on trying to force a well dug in team out of a stronghold, and they all get wiped out trying. You have to take a certain amount of risk when you are moving or trying to attack a built-in enemy. And now we can see the FCM-50T moved from down in the south and he's now up in the north, so he must have pulled back and gone around. Now the AMX 12-ton there, we saw him there for a brief moment. Oh, he got the kill! Blind kill! Excellent shot. That's good news. Just waiting for the reload to see if we can go after this SU-122, but he is moving to left to right. You know, I'm not sure that's going to hit. I think he was working on the basis that the SU-122-44 would move behind that wreck for cover. But I think he was jinxing from left to right actually more than anything. This FCM-50T is being a lot more predictable because he's staying in that trench. Nice hit right into his side for 183. He's fixed his repair kit, fixed his track, so he's burned his repair kit. So he's not going to be able to do that again. So if tiltratt can put a round onto him, he's going to stay there. Yes, hits him, but it didn't track him this time. Okay. Once he's behind that mound, it's going to be very difficult to shoot. Oh, but he gets it over the top anyway. Very narrow aiming point, but he got him. And the enemy is now even with us, so it looks like they've actually expended quite a few of their tanks trying to get at us. That one fell short. Couldn't get the aiming point smack on target. AT-15A makes a much more inviting target. At this moment, he's still hiding in that bush. Even though we can't see him, we know he's there. But tiltratt decided he's going to go for the FCM-50T first. Now. Nice! Right on his rear for 178. He's a one-shot now. There's the AT-15A. Which one do you go for? We've lost sight of both of them. Closest tank we've got to them now is the Super Hellcat. He fires blind, but no joy. He's still got plenty of ammo. 19 rounds for 5 enemy tanks. Okay, next target's the Scorpion. Still fairly healthy, but losing hit points. Well, lost them all. Made a dash for the cap. I noticed they left the camp and the building intact. On Studzianki, that's one of the first things you should always do. Get rid of those, because we have seen one of our members win a game. In fact, it was Entelzar, if I remember correctly, won a game on this map in a KV2 without ever being seen by the enemy. and he just simply camped behind the building, and he was perfectly safe. Nobody could see him, and well, rather embarrassing for the enemy that they never spotted a KV-2. It's one of the biggest tanks on the battlefield. Okay, can we get a shot on this? We could probably splash him. It's the side of the building, but it's an indestructible building. We were having a discussion about that just recently on Zoe Ball's live stream on Twitch TV. We were pointing out that Wargaming can't really make that many buildings in the map indestructible. Oh, blind shot kill on the 50T. That was an amazing shot on the move. So now they're down to 3. The Scorpion G's in sight, but no shot on him at the moment. Yes, they can't make every building in the map destructible as much as they would like to. It'd just be too much for many computers to handle, to actually process all the information on all of those destructible buildings. So some of them have to be indestructible. More's the pity, though. I suppose in the future, when game computers get better, Wargaming will probably consider... Oh, he's got another blind kill! 1815A this time! Which goes to prove that those things were one-shots. And that means there's only one enemy left. It's the enemy M44. And our team are now fanning out from this corner of the map. The enemy's beaten themselves to death trying to kill tiltratt and his teammates. His gun's up. Yeah, he's happy. He knows he's won this one. Well, he has got 3 kills for his team. And he's got a healthy amount of hit points. 1,612. Ooh, what happened there? I think that was a wobble in the map. Some of the team are indicating that they think the Arty might be an E0. Well, they've been on the receiving end of this guy's shells, so that's where they'll probably spot him first. But tiltratt's going to go over there all the same. Roller coaster. Oh, now the FV304, the Burt, just got wiped out with a shotgun, and he knows where he is now. He's definitely in D0, and there he is. tiltratt's moving in. He's not going to take aim. He's going to go for a shotgun. Or is he? No, he's going to fire. Lines him up. Oh, the kill shot goes in from the Scorpion G and ends the game. So, victory for tiltratt. Let's have a look at the end of battle results for the first battle and then this one. Well, if we look at the end of battle results, we can see that in the first battle, demontaxidriver got an ace tanker. Yet he fired so many shells, got so many hits that he eventually clocked up enough XP. And he also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17. A gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And on top of all that, he got a high caliber as well. So he got 1 epic medal, 2 battle hero medals, and an ace tanker, and they still lost. Yeah, well, no fault to demontaxidriver. He did his best, but his team wasn't up to it. So unfortunately, that was the result. You can see he definitely got the highest damage with 3,325 hit points. The next high scorer was the SU-100M1. Yes, that was a deadly tank. 3,133, not that far behind. When it came to kills, though, it was the SU-100M1 with 4 kills, 3 kills to demontaxidriver and also to the Super Pershing. And when it came to base XP, it's the SU-100M1. Yeah, I'm afraid he did more damage, and 1,340 experience points for him on the winning team. 1,010 goes to the Super Pershing, and next high scorer was the Pantera with 980. But demontaxidriver got 801 and was by far the highest scorer on his team. He fired 33 rounds in that game, got 15 direct hits, no penetration, but 32 splash. damage of 3,325 hit points, of which 2,894 were at more than 300 meters, received 1 hit, it was a penetration, and 2 hits by way of splash, and of course it was the second splash that killed him actually from the AMX-13F3. On a free-to-play account, he earned 34,902 and he got the Achievements Award, the Courageous Resistance for getting an Epic or Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game, 3,574 to that, and after ammunition resupply and repair took away 19,831 credits. He got 801 base XP, 443 from achievements, and took away 1,244. So sadly, it was a loss, and there was only about less than 2 minutes left in the game at the time when he died. But yes, it was his teammates let him down because he was doing as much as he could to hit the enemy, and he was round after round was hitting them. But I'm afraid he just wasn't getting the assistance from his rest of his team. So let's have a look at the second result, and that was also an ace tanker, but this time round for tiltratt, and not just an ace tanker, any old ace tanker. That was his first in this M44. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 18 in this one, and he got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, and his win rate from the battle was 7,786, which is high Super Unicum standard. Very, very good indeed, and he certainly was putting it about. And of course, as you saw during the game, he got several blind kills. In fact, all of the tanks he killed were blind kills. The FCM-50T, as he was moving down the centre river gully, the AT-15A up in the north as he was moving along the trench, and the AMX-12 ton, well, he was just sitting there. he just taken a stop, and well, tiltratt just fired around it and he was still there. I didn't think he would still be there, but he was, and he got the kill. So let's have a look at team score on that one. He didn't get the highest damage in that game, though. That went to the Scorpion, the standard Scorpion on the enemy team. Got a high caliber for 3,614 hit points. Next high scorer being the Scorpion G on our own team with 3,544. And then we got tiltratt with 3,088. And they were the only ones who actually managed to get over 3,000 hit points in total. When it came to kills, it was the Scorpion G who got 4 kills in that one. And tiltratt managed to get 3, and there's a whole bunch of players with 2 kills each. And when it came to base XP, it was tiltratt. Yes, 1,186 base for that game. 992 goes to the Scorpion G, 835 went to the KV-122, and tiltratt was the only player to get over 1,000 base in the game. He fired 22 shots in this game, 11 direct hits, 1 penetration on the enemy, 15 splash, damage of 3,088 hit points, and all of it was at more than 300 meters. He earned 54,735 credits from the game, got a 55,000 credit mission completion, and took away 98,625 credits at the end. He also got 7,116 XP after getting a mission completion for 3,558. So a very good game, and he said about effing time. Well, I know what he actually meant there, but yes, I was saying about time, because tiltratt plays the M44 quite a lot, and this is the first time on this account that he's ever had the ace tanker, which is surprising considering the number of years that tiltratt's played. And of course, he is a good player, he knows how to play Arty, but for some reason he's never had the teams who've enabled him to get this ace tanker. And as you saw in this one, they were being boxed into that corner, but the enemy beat themselves to death trying to get at them, and tiltratt was just able to take them, pocket them one after the other, and 3 very nice blind kills. So I'm sure he's very pleased with that. First ace tanker on the game, and from now on he's just going to have to earn a lot more and get 3 marks up on his barrel. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, or rather the YouTube algorithm. But just to let you know, we will be moving to Rumble at some time in the future. In fact, I may be uploading some of our replays to Rumble in the meanwhile, on occasionally, because obviously YouTube are now putting restrictions on freedom of speech, which means that I can't say anything I want to say. I have to keep within their guidelines, and their restrictions on freedom of speech are so bad that many people are actually saying, no, I don't want to stay on YouTube anymore. I'm exploring other venues. And of course, we're considering, or we've signed up with Rumble. We will sign up with YouTube and some of the other spots as well, some of the other channels, and we do expect that sometime in the very near future we may find that YouTube are subjected to some form of antitrust legislation, which means that either they'll be broken up or they'll be stopped from applying draconian censorship on their channel. Of course, it doesn't really affect us on this What Arty Noobs channel that much, because we don't talk politics or anything like that, so technically we fall outside their remit, but it's an objection that I have to them putting any restraints on any person from freely speaking about any subject, so long as it's not an offensive subject in terms of well, what you'd normally expect, decency or anything which is illegal, such as to do with, say, race, which really has no place on YouTube at all, unless of course it's educational in value. But anyway, there you go. Thanks very much for watching.